Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today is a requested video. The topic is definitely a departure from my usual handbag and clothing videos, but sometimes I think it is good to switch it up a bit. But this viewer asked if I would go through my diet and exercise routine. And of course, I'm happy to do so with the caveat that I am not a nutritionist, I'm not a medical professional. So certainly what I say today should not be taken as medical advice. But if it's helpful for you to hear what has worked for me over the years, then I feel that I have done my job. So with that out of the way, let's move on to the first topic, which is my exercise routine. One of the exercises that I do and I try to incorporate every single day is a brisk walk. And the pace is quick. I go to a place where there are hills, where there are stairs. Sometimes I will jog for short spurts because I'm able to do that without my knee bothering me, but it also helps, I think, to elevate my heart rate, and I think it's good for my cardiovascular health to incorporate a little bit of jogging. I walk for at least an hour. I'd say in terms of mileage, about 3.5 miles during the week. On the weekends, when I'm not working, I'm able to increase that to about 4.5 to sometimes 5 miles. So in addition to walking, I've also incorporated some biking. My husband and I try to get out at least twice a week. In terms of mileage during the work week, round trip, it's probably about 15 to 17 miles. And then on the weekend, when we have a little bit more time, it can be anywhere from 20 to 25 miles. There's another activity that I think, above all, maybe one of the most important things that I do to maintain my physical fitness, and that is weight training. So my first introduction to weight training was when my mother found the Firm workout. And she swears by these. She had mentioned to me that back in the 80s, and I think this came out in 86, she said this was the first time she was aware of that there was a workout for women that incorporated weights with aerobics. And when I was old enough, so as a teenager, I also started to do the Firm workout, and I continue to do them today. And I found all 4 on Amazon. I will check the link to these and provide it in the description below if you are interested. In terms of how often I do the Firm workout, I try to do them at least once a week. Ideally, if I could do it twice, but I just don't always have the time to do it. I've also adopted my own weight training routine for those days that I don't have time to do a Firm workout, and I'll set aside maybe 20 minutes. So in terms of the dumbbells that I have a 5-pound dumbbell, an 8-pound, and a 10-pound dumbbell. I also have 2-pound ankle weights. And what I will usually do is start with the 5-pound weight. I'll see how many repetitions I can do in a 1-minute period. I will then work my triceps. I will then do overheads and then work my deltoids. I will also incorporate some lunges. I will do crunches and various other ab routines, but I follow the same principle where it's how many crunches can I do in a minute. And basically, I do it until I can really feel my muscles starting to burn. But ultimately, weight training incorporated with the other exercises has really helped me to maintain my muscle tone, good posture, my endurance, my energy. For me, weight training has been of paramount importance. Years ago, and even to this day, I do hear women talking about the fact that they don't like to lift weights because they're afraid of getting too bulky. They don't want big muscles. Well, I can tell you that I've been weight training for years and I have never built muscles to the point where I look like a female bodybuilder. But certainly, if that is a concern of yours, if you lift small weights and you do a lot of repetitions, you will not develop big, bulky muscles. So of course, exercise is extremely important, but it can't stand alone. There's another side of this that is also very important, and that is diet. About 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with celiac disease. So that means that I can't have any wheat or gluten in my diet. When I was diagnosed, that forced me to really scrutinize food labels, and it was quite eye-opening. I don't think I realized how much sugar is in a lot of food items that I thought were healthy foods and things I should be eating. So let's start with the morning and what I have for breakfast. So usually I have one piece of gluten-free toast, and I will have one boiled egg or an overnight egg. I do drink coffee. I'd say I drink about the equivalent of a cup and a half, and I do add a little bit of steamed milk. For mid-morning, I will have yogurt. Now, yogurt is one of those things where I have found so much sugar in it, but there is a brand called Fage that has a lot less sugar, and I will just get the original Greek yogurt. I will usually add blueberries, sometimes some grapes, maybe some sliced banana, almonds. When I don't have yogurt, I have smoothies. Again, I use the Fage yogurt. I will add protein powder, and I forgot to mention I also use collagen powder, and I add 2 scoops of collagen powder to my yogurt. Add a banana, I will add blueberries, I will add grapes, and then I have a frozen fruit mix that I will throw in on the top. And that is a really satisfying mid-morning snack, and I find that it holds me over well into the afternoon. For lunch, I really enjoy having cottage cheese, and then sometimes I decide not to have cottage cheese and instead will have a gluten-free wrap with hummus. If I have tomatoes, I'll put some tomatoes in there, some lettuce. Then later in the afternoon, I will either have a handful of gluten-free low-sodium crackers or gluten-free pretzels. Snyder's has a really excellent gluten-free pretzel. Last but not least, dinner. So that varies. Most of the time we have fish, chicken, or pork tenderloin. It's summertime now, so we have the grill out, and of course occasionally we do make hamburgers. I'm a big fan of rice. I love white rice, but sometimes I switch it off with some quinoa. And I'm just careful with my portion sizes. And then I'm a huge fan of frozen vegetables. It's such an easy way to get your vegetables. I get the steam pack, I throw it in the microwave, 5 minutes, you have your steamed vegetable. And of course, then you have dessert. I have a huge weakness for ice cream. And of course, I do allow myself to indulge. I don't eat ice cream every single day, but there may be a couple times a week I will allow myself to have it. Sometimes just having some fruit with whipped cream on top is also very satisfying. I should also mention that, of course, hydration is very important, and that's something I struggle with. I fill up these 24-ounce containers and I try to monitor how much I'm drinking. I mostly drink water and seltzer, and sometimes these electrolyte drinks, as long as they don't have a lot of sugar in them, I will drink those as well. So overall, I can say that I never feel like I'm depriving myself. I'm usually always feel satisfied after I eat and don't get hungry again until I get up the next morning. I'm not a big calorie counter. I have some awareness of how many calories I'm eating, but really my focus is on the quality and the type of food and keeping the sugar content and the sodium content to a minimum. So for some final thoughts, in my experience, I have found that the road to success starts with setting reasonable goals. And then you can start to incorporate your exercise and healthy eating habits into your daily routine. In time, it will become automatic. You're not even going to need to think about it. You're just going to do it. Thank you so much for being here and taking time out of your busy schedules as I went through my exercise and diet routine. Hopefully some of what I said today will prove useful and helpful. And if you did enjoy today's content, please consider liking and subscribing. And for those of you who have already subscribed to my channel, thank you. It means so very much. Until next time, I wish you much luck in your personal health journey.